Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Devin. You can call me Dev. Today we are starting Malibu Rising by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I know, I think I'm the only person on the planet that hasn't read this. I loved Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, Daisy Jones and the Six. I liked, didn't love, but really enjoyed Taylor's writing style. And I actually had tried to loan this from the library months ago, but I've been on a wait list for the longest time. But finally, it's here. Honestly, I know not a lot about this book. I feel like I was watching someone's review of this and they said the best way I can recommend you go into it is not knowing anything, and I think that really stuck with me, and I think that's my plan with this. I thought this would be a really fun one to sort of experience with you guys and to do sort of like a reading vlog and just take you through my thoughts. If there's anything that's like, oh my gosh, what happened? Like crazy plot twists, because I'm a sucker for plot twists and Taylor is a lover of including plot twists. Cue Evelyn Hugo, twist of all twists. So let's get started. Okay, so I am 12 pages through. Really liking the structure of it so far. I think it's really interesting. I'm assuming it's just going to be set in one day, and well, Saturday the 27th of August 1983. I think that's really fun, and I think that's an interesting way to get super in-depth about everything. And I guess knowing how Taylor Jenkins Reid likes to write, I can imagine that this will be in the perspectives of multiple people. So I can imagine this would probably be in multiple people's accounts of how that day happened. Crazy, like the very first 3 pages, how it sort of sets up the environment of Malibu, and then you find out what happened that day and who caused it, and then it, you know, goes in depth. Bit juicy about Nina. Off to a good start. I'm intrigued. Tell me more. Okay, I'm up to 8 AM and my god, this is juicy. I'm actually really enjoying the family drama. I think seeing all the internal conflict between siblings, but then also seeing the conflict from the media because the family is so famous. I think that's a really fun way to have it written. I'm 27 pages in. Doesn't feel like it's like super slow paced, which I really like. It feels really engaging. I know that like where I'm at currently is sort of the setup, and usually the setup of the characters is the dry stage, but it doesn't feel dry. I think I'm really excited to start getting through the hours and to see how shit hits the fan. But I'm into it. I'm into it so far. Let's keep reading. I'm sorry, I just have to add in, how freaking cool is this family? I am Australian. I should be out being the biggest grom, going out on the surf every weekend. Like, I live right by the beach, but I don't. And I literally have surfed, I'm gonna say 3 times in my life, and I shat myself every time. But this family, goals, honestly, life goals. Like, my kids have to be surfers just to fulfill this book, because I feel like I've let people down. Anyways, I just had to rant for 2 seconds, but back to the book. Oh my god, there is an Evelyn Hugo reference. I love that. I freaking love that. So good. Bellissimo. Move your bum. Oh my gosh. Posey! God, Jesus Christ. Correct me if I'm wrong. Mick Riva, who is the dad was in Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. And I did not know. I just love that she brings it back into that, and that the stories are linked. I love that all of Taylor's books, that it's themes of fame, and it's almost like these fictional memoirs that you're reading, and you get so engrossed in them because you just want to know what that person's life was like. It's a life that's so different to our lives. I'm like a little bit excited, like more so keen for it to start getting into the party. I think that's going to be a really fun side of the plot, and seeing how things start to unfold and seeing the drama. I'm going to read a little bit more for today, and then I think tomorrow I'm going to pick this back up and try and make a dent in it this weekend. I'm up to page 88. So juicy. Alrighty, I am officially past the 100-page mark, and I'm finding it so interesting how this plot is structured and how the story has been told through, it's almost like present to past to even further in the past. And I think that's so fascinating because you can see, you know, it's the cause and effect. You see the present and then the past, and then you go even further into the past with mixed parents and seeing the effect they had on him. It's almost like you're seeing effect then cause. Does that make sense? Oh my god, I wish I was reading this on a beach. This is the perfect summer read. Like, I'm just learning about how they got into surfing. It's like almost winter in Perth and I'm just so jealous. Hello, it's the next day. It is quite a lot later actually. It is 4:36 the next day. I've had the busiest Saturday morning, I think, in the history of man, but I feel super accomplished and I have nothing left to do tonight besides cook myself dinner and keep reading this. $1.46. Oh my god. No wonder why Nina is the way she is. Oh my god. Good morning. My house this morning is an absolute tip. My housemate is moving out tomorrow, which means I've got all desk stuff and things to put into his room, but obviously can't do that at the moment. So I think because the rest of the house is a mess, I might actually read outside this morning. It's very chilly. I'm definitely not looking the most attractive. Let's go read outside. It has been the craziest weekend and I have not gotten through as much of this book as I was hoping, but it's fine. We will persevere. I know I read actually surprisingly a lot more on weekdays and weekends because after work I just read. That's all I really do for a few hours. So I'm on page 209. I think it's 9 p.m. that I'm up to. Loving all the drama. It's so much fun. Like seeing all these intentions of people crossing over. Like, you know, one person is interested in this person, but this person is interested in that person, but that person is interested in this person, and it's like madness. But it is so juicy and I'm loving it. 2:20. I'm gooped. I did not see that coming. That sucks. Oh, that's gonna be uncomfortable. Anyways, better continue. I feel like so much has happened today and I haven't been able to report it because I've been at work. When I'm back home, it's officially the PM and I've made such a big dent in this book today. So much has happened. It has been such a chaotic and intriguing and engaging plot so far. And what I noticed before I read this book, and probably the biggest thing that stuck with me with people's reviews, is that they'd mentioned that obviously we know Taylor Jenkins Reid likes to write in different perspectives. And say like Daisy Jones and the Six, you had 6+ characters. This, so many people have said it's really frustrating because you're on the height of something and then you get just a random party goer's account and like their backstory as well. I kind of love it because it just goes to show how that structure feeds in to the chaos of, you know, what is happening during the night. I think that is so clever, and seeing all these different people's intentions of how they want to spend the night, all their downfalls, all their struggles. They have goals and objectives for the night. You know, I want to sleep with this person, I want to kiss this person, I want to do drugs, I want to be crazy. But you also see their goals aren't met, and how that impacts them, and how that impacts the environment and the party and the consequences of that. And I think it's so clever, such a clever writing structure, plot structure, to have all these different accounts, even of people that are completely, for the most part, irrelevant. But I'm getting to the back end of it now. I'm 324 pages through. At 3 a.m, I'm quite a bit past the start of 3 a.m.'s chapter, but I'm getting close to seeing how things unfold and how the fire starts. I feel like at one part of the book, they almost teased that this certain thing would be how the fire started, and I got so nervous. I was, God, already it's like 60% through. And it was like, oh, you think you're gonna do it this way? Nope. And it wasn't that. And I'm just so intrigued about what is gonna start this fire. I've only got about 40 pages for it to happen in, so I'm gonna keep on powering through this, and I think I'm gonna finish this tonight. Guess what I just finished? Oh my God, it was so good. The ending. So I knew there was gonna be a fire, and then it got to like the last, I'm gonna say 10 to 20 pages. I was like, where is this fire? Did I read this wrong? Am I gonna have to like redact all the times I spoke about this like upcoming fire? I was getting really nervous. Oh my gosh, I cannot tell you how nervous I was getting. I really enjoyed how it wrapped up. I think that karma had its course. I love that you got to see almost like all the little subplots of all the characters that were referenced for 3 pages and had their little moments to shine. You got to see how they wrapped up, and it was like almost comedic to a point. It was hilarious, and finding out what happened to Brandon, and I think the way that their relationship with their father wrapped up, and their relationships with one another. It was so good. I think it was the perfect historical fiction for me that felt contemporary in its writing and in its writing style, but its topics and the themes of it, and I guess the sort of background vibe of it was very 80s, and I think that was a fun addition. It didn't drive the plot, which I am kind of glad, because it was so character focused. If you do not already follow me on Goodreads, please do add me as a friend, follow me. I rated this book 5 stars out of 5 stars. I love this, seriously. I really was so sad that I finished it, because it was so good, and it was like my cup of tea. Historical fiction, great twist at the end, a really engaging and fast-paced plot. It was just great. I loved it. But if you haven't read this book, I would recommend stopping where you are now. I'm actually going to start talking about plot-specific things that will spoil the plot for you. So give a couple seconds for them to leave. Okay, hi. So you've read this book, you know exactly what's gone down, and oh my God, how good was it? So let's talk business. I don't even know where to get started. I guess let's talk about the fire. So I think it is so funny that it was so chaotic, the full party. At any moment, something could have gone wrong and a fire could have started. And literally there was a bit where it was like Carrie Soto showed up and was threatening to set something on fire. I was like, this is how it starts. Oh my God, this is how it starts. And that wasn't how it started. And so you're sitting there just on the edge wanting to know how it happened. And then all it was just a flick cigarette butt the morning of, like the morning after. It's just so surprising. I was not expecting it, and I was not expecting it to be in the last 10 to 20 pages of the book. It was so good. I thought it was really interesting having all the different characters having their own sort of plots and their own challenges and their own intentions. I loved having the conflict between the brothers, and I guess the affair and the baby. I thought that was really cool. Having Casey show up, and I think that added not only another dimension for Nina and for obviously for Mick, but I think it added such an important dimension for not only Hud being a half sibling, also for Kit being the youngest and always being seen as the weird boyish young one. And now she wasn't. She was able to step into Nina's shoes, and I loved that. I think that was really good. I just loved the structure of it being hour to hour, but then also going back in time, going through how Mick and June met, how Mick left June and was cheating on her, and how he left and then came back and got her pregnant and then left again, and then June, you know, fell into this deep depression and turned to alcohol, and how it ended her life. And that was so heartbreaking. And I have the clip, you've already seen the clip of me reacting to that. I was shocked, seriously. I was so sad by it. I kind of knew it was gonna happen, but it was so sad to learn that Mick didn't even acknowledge her death. I can't even imagine, honestly. I think seeing Nina's progression as a character and seeing her overcome her need to be a caretaker and to step into that motherly role, and how long it took for her to accept that they're all adults now, and that, you know, she's allowed to do something for her and she's allowed to exist for her. And that conversation she had with the person that said, you know, you've never lived for yourself, that was incredible, absolutely incredible. And I actually took a photo of another quote that I really loved. There's actually two. Family histories repeat. Maybe our parents' lives are imprinted within us. Maybe the only fate there is the temptation of reliving their mistakes. Maybe try as we might, we will never be able to outrun the blood that runs through our veins. Or maybe we are free the moment we are born. Maybe everything we've done is by our own hands. Beautiful. Absolutely stunning. The last passage that I highlighted was on the very last page, right before the acknowledgements. It had brought destruction. It would also bring renewal, rising from the ashes. The story of fire. Perfect way to summarize it. I think the fire, and you know, that last passage summed it up really well, was a beautiful symbol of, you know, that renewal and cleansing and getting rid of all that you don't want and keeping what you do. And I loved when Nina was talking about inheriting that box of things that you get from your parents, and rather than feeling like it's a weight on your shoulders and that you're having to carry all their good and bad experiences, you can pick and choose what you want to put down and not come back to, and what you want to keep. And I think the fire was such a good symbol and a great way to represent getting rid of all that she didn't want and refreshing herself. I will be thinking about this for a while. This was absolutely a 5-star read for me. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed my very first read with me. If you have any recommendations for what I should read with you next, please let me know. I'm very open to suggestions. If you haven't already, feel free to follow me on Goodreads, or follow me on Instagram. My details are in the links below. And also, if you don't already, feel free to subscribe to my channel and like this video if you liked it. But if not, I will see you in my next video. Bye.